Have you ever caught yourself thinking and thinking and thinking until you did nothing at all? You planned, you analyzed, you replayed every scenario in your mind, but in the end, you took no action. You stayed stuck. Overthinking is silently destroying your potential. It's stealing your time, draining your energy, and keeping you trapped in your head instead of taking action. It convinces you that you need more time, more information, more certainty, when in reality, you just need to move. And if you don't fix it, you'll waste your potential before you even begin. The Stoics knew this over 2,000 years ago. Marcus Aurelius ruled an empire under chaos, war, and betrayal. Did he freeze in overthinking? Number. He focused only on what he could control and let go of everything else. They understood that most of our suffering isn't real, it's just overthinking. And today you're going to learn exactly how to break free. Think about this. Marcus Aurelius, the most powerful man in the Roman Empire, ruled during a time of war, betrayal, and constant uncertainty. His enemies plotted against him. Armies threatened his borders. Plagues swept through his cities. But did he freeze in fear? Did he spend days obsessing over every possible outcome? Number. He focused only on what he could control and ignored the rest. That's what made him unstoppable, and it's the exact same mindset that will set you free. Overthinking is not just a bad habit, it's self-destruction in slow motion. It leads to self-doubt, procrastination, and missed opportunities. You hesitate, and someone else takes the opportunity you were too afraid to act on. You overanalyze, and before you decide, the moment has passed. You let fear of failure control you, and as a result, you never even try. But here's the truth. Your mind is not your enemy. You just need to learn how to control it before it controls you. And that's exactly what the Stoics mastered. How to take action without fear, without hesitation, without regret. If you're stuck in your head, it's time to break free. Let's dive into the 5 Stoic strategies that will change the way you think forever. Principle 1. The Dichotomy of Control. Master what you can influence. Most people waste energy worrying about things they can't control. The opinions of others, the outcome of a decision, the mistakes they made years ago. And what does this lead to? Analysis paralysis, a cycle of endless overthinking that keeps you frozen in place, while life moves on without you. But the Stoics, they had a different approach. Marcus Aurelius lived in a world of constant chaos, wars, political betrayals, the weight of an empire on his shoulders. Yet, despite all of this, he never let his mind be consumed by what he couldn't control. He followed one simple rule: control what you can and ignore what you can't. Simple, but powerful. And once you fully accept this rule, overthinking loses its power over you. Right now, take a deep breath. Think about the thing you've been obsessing over, the thought that keeps replaying in your mind. Now ask yourself, do I have direct control over this? If the answer is yes, take action. If the answer is no, let it go. This is the Stoic practice of the dichotomy of control, dividing your worries into 2 simple categories. Things I control, things I don't. Look at your list, the things on the right. They don't deserve your time. Every second you waste thinking about them is a second stolen from your potential. Redirect that energy. Focus on what you can do right now. But even when you know this, your mind will still create fears that don't exist. You'll still hesitate, still doubt yourself, still imagine the worst possible outcome. And that's why we need the next strategy, a Stoic technique designed to kill fear before it even begins. It's called Premeditatio Malorum, and once you learn it, overthinking will never control you again. Principle 2. Premeditatio Malorum, the Stoic cure for fear-based overthinking. What if I fail? What if I embarrass myself? What if everything goes wrong? Overthinkers live in the world of what if. They get stuck imagining failure, embarrassment, and disaster, trapped by fears that may never even happen. The result? They hesitate. They avoid risk. They do nothing at all. But the Stoics had a different way of dealing with fear. Instead of running from it, they confronted it head-on. Seneca, one of Rome's greatest Stoic philosophers, had a strategy for this. He called it Premeditatio Malorum, the practice of imagining the worst-case scenario, but instead of fearing it, he embraced it. Right now, think about the decision you've been overthinking, the risk you've been avoiding, the action you've been putting off. Now, write down the absolute worst possible outcome. Ask yourself, if this happens, could I survive it? Would it actually destroy me? Most of the time, you'll realize something. It's not as bad as your mind makes it seem. You might fail, but failure is not fatal. You might be embarrassed, but embarrassment fades. You might struggle, but struggle makes you stronger. By imagining the worst, you strip fear of its power. You see it for what it really is, just a thought, not reality. And once you stop fearing failure, you become unstoppable. Now that you've neutralized your fears, it's time to stop getting lost in your thoughts and start taking action. But how do you stop hesitation in its tracks? How do you break free from the cycle of overthinking and move forward with confidence? That's where the next strategy comes in. It's a simple but powerful rule that forces you to act before your mind talks you out of it. It's called the 5-second rule, and it changes everything. Principle 3, the 5-second rule. Stop thinking, start moving. You know what you need to do, but instead of acting, you hesitate. You think about it, you analyze it, you wait for the perfect moment, and then you do nothing. Overthinking kills action, and hesitation, it destroys momentum. The longer you wait, the less likely you are to act. But what if there was a simple trick to override hesitation, a way to act before your mind talks you out of it? That's where the 5-second rule comes in. The simple trick to override overthinking. Mel Robbins popularized this concept, but the idea aligns perfectly with Stoicism. If you give your brain too much time, it will come up with reasons to avoid taking action. So here's what you do. The moment you feel hesitation creeping in, you count down 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. And before your mind has time to object, you move. Right now, think of something you've been putting off. Maybe it's a phone call, a workout, a conversation, or starting that project. The next time hesitation creeps in, start the countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and move. Stand up, type the first sentence, take the first step. Break the paralysis before it traps you. Because once you start moving, momentum takes over, and hesitation loses its grip. You've started taking action. But what happens when emotions, anger, frustration, fear, pull you back into overthinking? How do you stay clear-headed and in control, even in the most challenging situations? That's where the next principle comes in. It's the key to emotional resilience, the ability to stay calm, composed, and unshaken by life's chaos. And it all starts with mastering your reactions. Principle 4. Emotional resilience. Control your reactions, not the world. You can't control everything that happens to you, but you can control how you respond. Overthinking is often driven by emotions: fear, regret, doubt. If you let them take over, you'll be stuck in endless loops of what if? What if I make the wrong decision? What if they judge me? What if I fail? But here's the truth. Your emotions are not facts. They are just impulses. And if you let them dictate your decisions, you'll never be free. The Stoic approach: master your mind, master your life. Marcus Aurelius, one of the greatest Stoic emperors, understood this better than anyone. In Meditations, he wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." He knew that true resilience comes from within, not from trying to control the world, but from controlling how you react to it. And when you master this, nothing can shake you. The next time emotions start clouding your mind, ask yourself, is this helping me or hurting me? If it's helping you, use it. If it's hurting you, let it go. Then, apply the 3-second delay rule. Before reacting, take 3 deep breaths. Reset your focus. Give yourself time to respond, not just react. And if you're still unsure, write this down. What would a Stoic do? This simple question forces you to detach from emotion and see things clearly. Because when you control your reactions, you control your reality. You're now thinking clearly and taking action. But how do you maintain this mindset every day? How do you make sure that overthinking doesn't creep back in? The answer is discipline, and that's exactly what we'll cover next. Principle 5. The discipline of action. Build a system, not just motivation. Most people rely on motivation, but here's the truth. Motivation is unreliable, it fades, it's inconsistent, and if you depend on it, you'll never be consistent yourself. The people who get things done, the ones who overcome overthinking and actually take action, they don't rely on motivation, they rely on discipline. The Stoic approach. Discipline equals freedom. Epictetus, one of the greatest Stoic philosophers, put it simply: discipline is freedom. Because the more structure you create in your life, the fewer distractions, doubts, and excuses you'll have. Instead of waiting for motivation to strike, you build a system that forces you to take action, no matter how you feel. Start by setting non-negotiable daily rules. For example, I will write for 30 minutes every morning, no matter how I feel. There's no debate, no excuses, you just do it. Next, limit decision-making. The more choices you have to make, the more likely you are to overthink. Create routines so you don't waste energy deciding what to do. Make it automatic. And finally, track your progress. At the end of the day, write down one action you took despite overthinking, one moment where you pushed through hesitation and did what needed to be done. Because discipline isn't about giant leaps, it's about small, consistent steps, and those steps add up to something unstoppable. Now that you have the tools to stop overthinking, let's wrap this up. Let's go over everything we've covered and the exact steps you need to take next. Let's take a step back and look at everything we've covered today. First, we learned to focus only on what you can control and let go of the rest. Then, we used Premeditatio Malorum to strip fear of its power. Because when you confront the worst-case scenario, fear disappears. We applied the 5-second rule to break free from hesitation, because action kills overthinking. We mastered emotional resilience, learning to control our reactions instead of being controlled by them. And finally, we developed the discipline of action, because systems, not motivation, create real change. Overthinking is a habit, but like any habit, it can be broken. The only question is, will you take action now? Or will you keep waiting, keep hesitating, keep letting your own mind hold you back? You have the tools, you have the strategy. Now it's up to you to use them. If you're ready to stop overthinking and take control of your life, comment "I'm in" below. And if you want to learn how to develop unstoppable confidence, the kind of confidence that makes people respect you instantly, watch my next video right now. Because the moment you stop overthinking is the moment you start living.